Greetings everyone. I'm going to be going through the manual way of recreating a Java Swing application to match the style of the now deprecated Java desktop application from the NetBeans IDE. The NetBeans IDE originally came with a method of creating Swing applications called a Java desktop application. This used some special classes which at the time were assumed to become a standard. Creating a Java desktop application put a skeleton together for the program author. And this skeleton made it very easy to put together Swing applications without a lot of the overhead of putting layouts and supporting structures and other things like that together every single time. Now, the classes that this was built upon never became a standard. NetBeans went on to create the NetBeans platform, which they tout as the replacement for the Java desktop application. The NetBeans platform has a lot of nice features, but it is very complicated, and the programs tend to be very large. If you're doing a very large project with a lot of code, a lot of modules, it may be valuable to you. If you're trying to build a small program, it's not really worth the overhead. So what I'm going to try to do here is show you how, just with regular Java, you can build the framework that you're used to seeing with the Java desktop application without the special features involved in the classes of the Java desktop application. So, without any further ado, let's get started. I'm going to do a new project, and we'll just do a regular Java application. And we'll call this Swing Demo. Now, this creates a little skeleton program here that has nothing to do with the GUI. I like this framework because you can launch the GUI from this little skeleton program. And before you launch the framework, if you need to, you can put lots of checks in there. Like say you need a certain library, you want to make sure it's available so that your user doesn't go into the program and have it hang up without the library being available. But let's build the UI right now. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to create a new JFrame form. And we'll call this Swing Demo UI. And we get a JFrame form built for you with the Matisse design system. Because the JFrame implements runnable, when this is called from the main program, it will just go ahead and run all by itself. So let's call it from the main program right now. I'm going to go ahead and say demo or swing demo UI my UI equals new swing demo UI. And oh, sorry about that. Then we're going to tell it that if this user interface gets closed, then the Java virtual machine should shut down. If you don't do this and the user closes the window with the X icon in the top right hand corner, then the Java virtual machine will continue to run even though there's nothing for it to run. This can be kind of wasteful. So we'll go to My UI, set default close operation, and it will be swing demo UI dot exit on close. Then My UI set visible true. At this point, if we run the program, it won't be very impressive, but it does bring up the J-frame. And as I said before, if we close it, it's going to finish up the Java virtual machine. Close the instance. There we are for the basics. Now we want to go in and set up the UI. So go into the Matisse design system, and we'll start off with a menu bar. And the menu bar by default comes with a file menu and an edit menu. Let's start with the file menu. First thing I like to do is set a mnemonic so that one can use Alt F and navigate to the file menu with the keyboard as opposed to clicking. Then we're going to go ahead and make a menu item. And this menu item is going to be to quit. Quit. We'll go into properties. We'll change the name of this variable to quit menu item. And we'll go into the events under action performed. Select a default name, and this will add an event handler. Quit menu item action performed. And now we will put in the code for shutting down the program. System out print line shutting down, and this of course referring to the J-frame. Set visible false, and then finally system exit 0. Try running it again. File quit, and it shut down. Back to the design. We'll add one more menu item. Actually, sorry, not yet. We'll add another menu. And we'll change this one and call it help. And we'll set the mnemonic on that to be H. We'll change the variable name to help menu. And then we'll go in there and we'll create a menu item. And this menu item we're going to call about. Now why we're doing this is because it's always good to give an about box. so that your user can tell what the name of the program is, who wrote it, and the version number. Now that we're here, again, we'll go back to events, select a default, creates a handler for us, and for this handler, we're going to do a nice, simple dialog box. Now, the Java Desktop Application Framework put a nice JFrame that popped up all by itself instead of just a dialog box, but dialog box is simple, so we're just going to do that. J option, show message dialog, and we'll call this simple swing demo program. Version 1.0. The name of our dialog box will be titled Swing Program About, and we will tell it to demonstrate this as an information box. J option pane dot information message. Alright, so it's starting to flesh out now. One of the things that I like to do, which wasn't necessarily part of the Java Desktop Application Framework, is to create custom icons for the program. As you've seen, we just get the default Java icon, and I think having a custom icon makes the program a lot easier to understand and manage for the user, especially when he or she is dealing with a lot of things on the desktop. So let's go ahead right now and create a container for all of our icons. Create a new Java package, and we're going to call this swing demo dot resources. Now, within this, we'll put all of our icon sizes in PNG format. I have them in my file browser, and I'm just going to drag them over. And you see I have some nice little stars in 48 by 48, 32 by 32, 256 by 256, 24 by 24, 16 by 16, and 128 by 128. Really, you only need the 16 by 16, and the operating system should scale that up to whatever size it needs for other display purposes, but it tends to be pretty ugly. So I like to take an icon and create several copies at different resolutions. And then we will go into the UI and we will add all of these pieces to it. So we're going to start off with some imported classes, toolkit, mykit equals toolkit get default toolkit, and URL location of icon, and image my image. And these are going to need imports. Add import for URL. Add import for Java AWT image. Now you'll notice that I'm putting all this stuff in the class constructor. The class constructor also calls this init components, and the init components contains code that is generated by the Matisse system. So we're not using the Matisse system for adding the icons, so we want to put that ahead in the constructor by itself. I'm going to go ahead and create a string array that tells the program where to find all these little icon files. String. Swing demo slash resources slash star 16 PNG. Now this is why I called it swing demo resources, because now I know the path to finding these objects inside is swing demo slash resources slash file name. We'll go ahead and continue doing that for the 24, the 32, the 48, the 128, and the 256. Now, just as a word of warning here, make sure you get all of these correct. If you happen to mistype one of these addresses, you may create a program that will unexpectedly crash on a certain person's system if he or she's operating system decides to use that resolution and it's not available. Next, we will go ahead and put these into the image array or the image list. Array list. Images. New array list. And add the import automatically. Oh, default constructor. Next, for integer count equals 0 to counter is less than icon locations dot length counter plus plus location of icon equals class loader get system resource and icon locations counter. My image equals my kit create image location of icon, and we will add this new image to the image list. After that for loop is created, we'll have a list of images, and we'll go ahead and tell the program to use that as the icons. This set icon images. And one more thing, every program should have a title at the top of the bar. So we will tell it this set title simple swing program. We go ahead and run it, and you're going to see that we now have my little star icon up in the top left hand corner, and we have a title. And that's about it. This is not a very exciting program, but the purpose was to show you how to build a framework quickly and easily that replaces the skeleton put together by the Java desktop application, which is no longer relevant. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Please have yourself a great night or a great day, depending upon what time it is. See y'all later. Happy coding.